Let's go, Rider Nation.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. It's a feeling now. Hit 'em high, hit 'em low. 'Cause we're dealing now. Everybody's giving it all they got. 'Cause we're ready.
Alex here with a special interview for the Piffles podcast ahead of tomorrow night's Riders game against the Edmonton Elks at Mosaic Stadium. Joining me is someone who we knew was going to have a very good year for the green and white this year. And as high as our expectations for him were, I think he's blowing them all out of the water right now through the first 7 games. Defensive back Rolan Milligan joins me. Rolan, thanks for your time today. How's things going?
It's been all right, man. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, thanks for making the time. I'm going to start off with your number. I know numbers are important to athletes. When you came to the CFL in, I think it was October of 2021, you were given the number 32. Why the switch to number 0?
I didn't like 32 at all. Didn't want to keep it. I initially wanted 5. That was the number I wore in high school. But Duke Williams already had pick 5, so they gave me a couple options. I was like, 0 is different. So let me see if I like 0. And it stuck good.
And with your season in 2022, I guess you can't really change from that since you had such a good start to your career.
Yeah, it was solid.
Now, when you came up to Saskatchewan, did you know anything at all about the province, the city of Regina, or anything about the CFL at all?
I heard of a few teams. So I heard of BC Lions because Chris Rainey, he's from the same county in Florida that I'm from. So I heard of BC, and I heard of Toronto, and I heard of Montreal, but I've never heard of Saskatchewan. So when I first signed, they basically sent me like an information sheet. They emailed it to me. It gave just some history facts and stuff like that.
And then what was your first impression when you got up here?
It was cold. It was October, so when I got here, it was already freezing. It was snow on the ground. I was like, dang, it's freezing. Like, I knew it was going to be cold, but I didn't know how cold it was going to be.
And you're a Florida guy, so have you embraced the Saskatchewan weather when it gets colder here in the fall?
I went to school in Ohio, and then I was in Detroit for a little bit. So, I got a taste of how it felt to be cold, be in some snow. But that West Finals game that year, I think that's the coldest game I've ever played in my life. So it was hard to adjust, but now it's it is what it is.
Last year for you, obviously, it was a tough year for the team, tough year for you being injured, not being able to help the team out in the back half of the year. Did you use that injury as motivation for this season and how you've approached the start of the year so far?
Yes and no. So even before I was injured, I wanted to figure out how to be better as a player, as a teammate, and then just how to elevate my game. That was going into, that 22 and then that 23 season as well. Just how can I elevate my game? And then, once I had the injury, it was just that desire to get back and play again to show that, I'm not injury prone, it's just a freak accident that happened. So it was more so just that drive to just want to be back and want to be able to play again.
And this year, you're at the top of the league in tackles. You lead the league in interceptions with 4. You're out there dominating on special teams. You're leading the league in special teams tackles. What is it about your game that allows you to succeed in every facet of the game?
Just trying to emphasize that, to be, someone that can be dominant on defense, that can be dominant on special teams or whatever they need me to do, whatever role that I'm chosen to do. I just want to be the best at it that I can be. So that's how I approach it every week.
And do you like special teams? Because I know some guys don't like it. Some guys absolutely love it. Where are you on the spectrum?
I don't mind it. I still, I still get to play. It's a privilege to be able to go play on special teams as well as defense. So, if I get tired or need a break, they try to look out for me. But for the most part, it don't really bother me at all. I'm just trying to win games. So whatever I need to do, whatever I can do for them, I try to do it.
Now, the defensive backfield, I'm always curious about positional coaches and the work that they do with you guys behind the scenes. We as fans don't really see it. We see game day, and that's really all we see. What has defensive backs coach Josh Bell done to allow you to have the success that you're having this season?
We have a lot of conversations, during the week, after games. I go see him the day after every game. I go in there and I talk to him. We talk about, just how we felt about how the game went and going into the next week and the next opponent, how we feel, what we like, what we don't like, and things like that. So I think a lot of it is just dialogue, conversation, and just knowing what he expects, what I expect, and then, how does my skill set fit into the scheme and what am I able to accomplish and what can I be better at, So just having those conversations with him all the time just helps me, to adjust to what we see and then kind of anticipate how we'll be attacked based off of what happened, in previous games or within that same game.
You played Edmonton earlier this year. This week going up against him, you're going against a different quarterback with Tre Ford. What have those conversations been like with Josh Bell this week going up against a different type of quarterback?
It's a difference between him and Bethel Thompson. So, we address those differences and then, trying to figure out how he sees the field compared to how Bethel Thompson sees the field. And then just, his dynamic skill set, everybody knows he's fast, he's running, he's he can make guys miss and still be able to complete passes downfield. So those little nuances.
And obviously making tackles is one of the big things, especially on a mobile quarterback like that. I've noticed this year with this Saskatchewan Roughriders defense is you guys are making the tackles. You're hitting hard, but it's a swarm of guys coming to the ball. We didn't necessarily see that over the last couple of years. Has that been a major focus on this team so far? Is just to get to the ball carrier regardless of who it is?
For sure, it's always easier to tackle with 12 instead of having to make a solo tackle. So the more guys we get around the ball, the better odds for us, even taking the ball away.
And the takeaways this year, you guys are forcing lots of fumbles, getting lots of interceptions. How much pride does a team actually take in turnovers when you're basically allowing teams to get nothing on you?
A lot. Turnovers, they change games. They win games. So being able to take the ball away from offenses, especially, good offenses that we went up against the past 7, 8 weeks, it just gives us better chances of winning the game and then getting our offense the ball to be able to put up more points and to get more comfortable and get into a rhythm.
Coach Corey Mace has preached family this entire season. How has that really just changed the dynamic of this team from the last couple of years to now?
A lot, every team, they preach the same thing for the most part, but being able to show it, with actions and, having gatherings and, position groups going out to eat on just regular days during the week or being able to go to a coach's house and just eat and meet his family, meet his wife and kids, being able to act on those things are important. And that's something that he's really emphasized too. Even upstairs, we have a family board up there where, guys are posting pictures of their wives and kids and, close relatives. And, he's bringing it up in meetings like, hey, guys, y'all get pictures on that board. We're preaching family, but we really want to act on it and show it that we really are a family.
After last week's game against Montreal, what's the message been from Coach Corey Mace going into this game?
Finishing the game. We had a strong first half. I think the third quarter was the worst quarter, especially on defense, but being able to just play 4 quarters and finish a game. We've been in that situation where we were down, and came back. So we got to just be able to play a complete game, not just one half of football.
And that game last week, it was on a short rest week. Over this middle stretch of the season of these 6 games, you have games on either a Friday or Saturday, then it's a Thursday travel game, and then you get a couple of extra day off. And then it goes back and forth for, 6 games. How tough is it for a pro athlete, pro football player to have to adjust your routines to make that schedule work?
Honestly, it's not that bad. Coach Mace, he tries to help out with that, the way he schedules the week. But like you said, we're all pro athletes. We have to be able to do that because it's not like we're the only team that has to do that. Everybody has to do it at some point during the season. So being able to just be a pro and just lock in and, take care of your body, make sure you're watching film if you're not going through like full practices and getting that extra work in, it's just something that you have to do.
You mentioned the film work. I'm always curious how much film work actually goes into being a pro football player, because again, like I said, as fans, we don't see that. We just see, practice and game day.
If you want to be good, you got to watch a lot of film. It's hard to just rely on talent the higher up in level that you get because everybody's talented. You're going to always get guys that are faster, bigger, stronger. Some guys are smarter. So you have to find a way to gain that competitive edge. And if you're able to really watch film, dissect it, and then the things you learn from film, take it to the game, that's going to give you that advantage.
I want to go back to your hometown of Lake Wales, Florida. You're actually a youth care worker there in the off season for at-risk teens. What got you into doing that kind of work?
Well, it's not in my hometown. It's in Bartow, which is about 20 minutes away. But,
okay.
I was just trying to figure out what to do in the off season, and I just didn't want to just do anything, just because I'll do it, but I wanted to be something I did that I could enjoy and actually help somebody out. And I train kids in the off season too, so I'm always working with teenagers and just trying to be a guy. And then I just felt like it was something that I didn't really get growing up. Somebody, to give me advice, especially even getting into college and into the pros early. I didn't have somebody that showed me the ropes. I kind of went through it with just my experience, everyday experience. So trying to be someone who can help prepare them. So when the situation comes about, whatever it is, whether it's football, life, whatever it is, having somebody they know that's in their corner that'll give them good information that they can use to just make things easier for them and not have to feel like they're going through it by themselves.
Now, I know you're kind of coaching them, teaching them, but I feel like you could probably learn something from the kids yourself. What have you learned about yourself that has helped you on the football field?
I think, with football, you got a bunch of different guys from a bunch of different backgrounds, but you don't necessarily know, how deep it gets for some guys. So a lot of those kids, they grew up in a lot of tough situations and they're like, 13, 14 years old and have seen way more traumatizing things than I've seen in my life. And it just kind of gives you a perspective of like, okay, how does this stuff affect these guys? And I think that was probably the biggest thing, is just being able to open my mind to things that are going on in other people's lives.
You got the Clamp School, defensive back training back home in Florida, founded by Rolan Milligan. I know you have plenty of playing years left in your career, but is getting into coaching something that's always been one of your goals?
Early on, no, but the more I got into pro football and then just going back home and, guys who are coming out of high school, going to college, they ask me a lot of questions. And I just feel like I have a lot of knowledge. And then just like I said before with not having someone to be that for me, I want to be that for a lot of younger guys who feel like they don't have somebody that they can ask those questions. So that was my biggest thing. And then I love being around ball. Even when I was hurt, I started watching more film just because I just wanted to be involved. And it just kind of gave me the idea, like, I think I would be a pretty good coach.
Now, next door to Mosaic Stadium, you have the Queen City X going on, the fair. Did you have a chance to stop by there yet?
I did not. The DB said they want to go on Sunday, day after the game. So
okay,
we plan on making a trip over.
Are you a rides guy, or are you just gonna walk around and get the food?
I think I'm gonna just get food. I usually like getting on rides. I love theme parks. Back home we got Busch Gardens in Tampa. We got Universal Studios, Islands of Adventures in Orlando. So I've always been a big theme park guy, but during the season I just kind of chill out, lay low.
the team put out the video yesterday of AJ Ouellette and Ajoa Joe going through the Queen City X. Ajoa Joe seems to me like he's the funniest dude in the locker room. Who is the funniest guy in the locker room?
In my opinion, Yoshi. He is a different type of guy, but it's all love with him, man. You know, he wants to be that guy that can make everybody else smile. You know, it might be a day where guys aren't in the mood, but he'll just say something out of the blue just to kind of get your energy up, just to make you feel a little better. You know, make you feel good about being at work. Because, you know,
the Summer Olympics are on right now. I got to know, what event would Rolan Milligan medal at in the Olympics?
you know, somebody asked me the same question the other day, and I don't think I'm built to be an Olympian. I've never been a track guy. So, you know, I've never really got into the sprints or the longer distance running. I've never really been a basketball player. I'm athletic enough to, you know, play street ball, but to really go compete with, you know, professional basketball players, I don't think that's my game. I'm a decent swimmer, but I don't think I'm good enough to to go win in that. I can do a little bit of flips, but I'm not that good to be a professional gymnast. So, you know, I'm not built to be an Olympian.
You'll stick to football then?
Yeah.
And I don't want to get too far ahead, but the next home game that you guys have after this one is against Montreal. It's on August 16th.
Yeah.
That, of course, is going to be your birthday, your 30th birthday.
I'll say it like that.
What can Rider Nation give you as a present that night?
Man, just bring that energy, bring that juice, man. Just like they do every home game. You know, a win would be the biggest gift I can get, man. Other than my wife. My wife coming up too, so you know that's already that's my first gift. But you know, from the fans, just be yourselves. You know, bring that juice, bring that energy, and just stand behind us like they always been.
And has your wife been able to come up to other games so far, either this year or in past years?
Last year, my wife and kids, they came up after the first bye week. They came up and stayed up until about Labor Day. But this year they stayed home, just, you know, personal decisions.
All right. Well, Rolan, look forward to seeing what you have in store for us against Edmonton tomorrow. Have a great game, and thank you for your time.
No problem. Appreciate it.